Hello, welcome back. My name is Babette, and welcome to Lesson 13 from my book, Babette's Quick Start Guide to Theory for Fiddlers, Book 1. This is the beginning of Part 2. In Part 1 of the book, we discussed sharps and sharp keys, and in Part 2, we're going to be discussing flats and flat keys. The discussion of flats and flat keys is a little more difficult for us because of hand position. Even though the major scale intervals that we learned, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, are the same, our finger positions are going to be different, which makes it a little more difficult for us. But we can do it. So let's get ready and begin. I suggest you pause this and go get your violin just like I'm going to do. Okay, this lesson is about the flat keys. And if you recall when we talked about the sharp keys, we were able to use our open strings to do that. Unfortunately, we cannot do it that way to talk about the flat keys. What we're going to use is our first finger. And on your violin, there is a piece of wood that goes right here across the top of the fingerboard, a small piece of wood, and that's called the nut. And what we're going to do is place our first finger in a position right next to the nut. So let's start with the first flat key. F is the first flat key. You can either memorize that or think of first finger for the first flat key. And you're going to place that finger on the E string right next to the nut. And that note is F natural. Before, when we used the first finger on the E string, we had it up about a half step for an F sharp. But now we're not playing F sharp, we're playing F natural, and that note is right next to the nut. There is one flat in the key of F. Now B flat is the second flat key. To find that, place your first finger on that F on the E string and then move it straight across over to the A string, still right next to the nut. That note is B flat. And look, 1, 2. There are 2 flats in the key of B flat. Okay, are you ready for the third flat key? Well, the third flat key is E flat. So we go from F to B flat, and now we move over to the D string in the same position. That note is E flat. Okay, so we've moved 3 strings now. 1, 2, 3. That means in the key of E flat, there are 3 flats. So by now you've probably figured out how to find the fourth flat key. You moved your first finger in the low position from the E string to the A string to the D string and then to the G string. And in the low position on the G string, that note is an A flat. So A flat is your fourth flat key. And now here's a simple little picture which shows how to find your flat keys. And after that, we're going to go to our worksheet. Okay, let's begin the worksheet on flats. Question 1. Don't forget that what is the first flat key? Don't forget that F is the first flat key. Question 2. What key is this? The first one has 1 flat sign, so that's the key of F. The second one has 2 flat signs, that's the key of B flat. The third one has 3 flat signs, That's the key of E flat. And the fourth one has 4 flat signs, making it the key of A flat. Question 3. To find the flats on the violin, what finger do you use? You use the first finger. Question 4. Do you use that finger in the low or normal position? You use the first finger in the low position, placing it right next to the nut. Question 5. Do you move your finger from the G towards the E string or from the E towards the G string to find the flat key? You move it from the E towards the G string. And question 6 is asking if we know if these keys are sharp or flat. The key of A is sharp. The key of B flat is flat. The key of G is sharp. The key of A flat is flat. The key of E flat is flat. The key of D is sharp. The key of F is flat. And the key of E is sharp. And now for the review questions. What finger do you use to find the sharp keys? This sounds like a trick question, and it is. For the sharp keys that we have studied, G, D, A, and E, you do not use a finger to find them. Question 2. Are the flat keys on the circle of fifths? Yes, they are. Question 3. A flat is the same as what sharp key? A flat is the same as G sharp. And question 4. What are the tonics and dominants in the following keys? The key of D, the tonic is D, the dominant is A. In the key of A, the tonic is A and the dominant is E. And in the key of F, the tonic is F.